So I don't know if I'm going to get this video out in time. I'm aiming to get it out on election day, but I'm filming it the night before election day. So we'll see. But it's election day. And I mean, I'm trying to think what I can say that hasn't been said by tons and tons of people. I have voted. I voted early. Thankfully, where I'm at, early voting takes place several weeks prior to the election. So I voted a couple weeks ago to make sure that I got it done. But this election does feel important. And I know over the last few cycles, especially, everybody's like, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. But I feel like it honestly is. Certainly, the 2020 election was pretty massive with the pandemic. And if that election had gone the other way, it could have been absolutely catastrophic. And I feel absolutely the same way with this one. I mean, we saw the ramifications of the 2016 election, and it was pretty bad. A lot of bad stuff happened on the international stage. We pulled out of a lot of our alliances. A lot of damage was done to our relationships with our allies. Trump tried to end NATO. That would have been a complete disaster. We saw how he buddied up to Putin, how he buddied up to Kim Jong-un, to say nothing of the man's fucking moral character, or lack thereof. His many allegations of sexual assault, his many allegations and his convictions of, election fraud, of colluding with Russia, all these different things that are in, various places of investigation. It's crazy. And this motherfucker is trying to run for a third motherfucking term. And it's absolutely fucking nuts. And I do apologize for swearing so much, but this election's been stressful. I mean, you can't escape it. Even if you love Donald Trump, you can't escape the political ads, the political messaging in your face, the way that honestly both sides are making this an existential situation, basically calling it a completely existential, election. The Republicans say that Kamala Harris is going to turn us into a communist dystopia. The Democrats are saying that Trump is going to turn us into a fascist state. I personally think there's a whole lot more evidence, especially coming out of that man's mouth, as well as, Project 2025, etc., that is the agenda that they have. We're not even going to go into him thinking that Hannibal Lecter is a real person, all of his blatant racism, the basically Nazi rally that was held last week. It's insane. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. If you can't tell, I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm very, very proud of voting for Kamala Harris. She might not be the ideal candidate. She might not be, I feel like the Democrats, we all view sort of like the gold standard is Obama, like perfect rhetoric, overall really strong domestic policies. I have a lot of beef with his foreign policy. But, he's sort of like this gold standard of charismatic, funny, smart, quick-witted, and, gets stuff done, tries to get stuff done. Obviously, with all of the Republican opposition, he did not get everything he wanted done in his presidency, but he had a pretty successful presidency, and his legacy is such that I feel like Democrats, if they don't have a candidate who hits that high of a bar, they kind of, complain. Like, we complain a lot about our candidates, and we're like, oh, Kamala's not she's a fuck ton better than Trump. Like, that's just the fucking facts of the matter. And so I'm proud to have voted for her, and proud to have voted for democracy rather than the candidate that I genuinely think is going to push fascism. And his agenda everything laid out in Project 2025, which J.D. Vance, wrote the forward to, like all of that, it's pretty fucking obvious to me the right side of history. And I don't know what way this is going to go. And probably by the time I release this video, we still won't know. But I hope that folks get out. I hope that they vote. I hope that they vote their conscience, even if it's a way that I don't agree with. I hope that everybody gets out, everybody votes, because there is nothing more important as Americans than actually exercising our rights. And if we don't exercise our rights, we're going to lose our rights. Because like every government, there are people who are corrupt in government. There are people who want to get into government who are corrupt. There are people who use the system to their own gain. And it's up to we, the people, through our votes, through advocacy, through protest, all of the different means that we have to push for a more perfect union. And so even if you fundamentally disagree with 90% of what I said in this video and you think that Donald Trump is the best thing since fucking sliced bread, I still want you to vote. I still want you to exercise your American right and get to the polls. And let's do what we can to make America the best place that we possibly can, however we view that. And I hope that people will view it progressively. I hope that people will view women's rights as fundamental human rights. I hope that people will view immigration reform that is not cruel and just horrific as something to strive for. I hope that people will view the Russian invasion of Ukraine for what it is and continue to support Ukraine, vote for candidates who will continue to support Ukraine and not just try and hand them off to Putin. That's really all I got in this video. See you guys soon with more content. Do let me know what you think of how this looks. I'm shooting it on a completely different lens, a new lens, anamorphic lens. So it's got that extra widescreen look and it's just going to look a little bit different. So I'd love to know if you guys like it, if you don't like it. But yeah, anyway, peace.